Zentangle enthusiasts. My name is Yehudit Steinberg. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and I am welcoming you to my brand new Zen and Creativity YouTube channel, where we explore the 8-step beginner process of Zentangle method. So stay tuned for more videos on for beginners. This is day 31 of Inktober Tangles 2022. This is the last in our series, and starting next week, we will be beginning our beginners series on Zen and Creativity channel. So let's take a look at, we're at part 1. In these videos, in these 31 videos, they are divided into 2 parts. The first part, we draw the step out. And what do I mean by a step out? Step outs in Zentangle method are 6 or less steps to create a design. So it has been simplified for beginners. Now, some patterns are a little more complicated than others. Pangea is a very simple pattern, and we are going to get to drawing this step out in just one moment. I want to remind you that if you haven't listened to any of my videos before, I created a beginner's guide that you can get all the links to the 31 days plus supplies and everything you need to complete this this challenge. The link is in the description. One of the things in the beginner's guide that's important is our tangle step out template, where you can draw the tangle with me. So today is day 31, Pangea. Pangea is a term used prior to the continents being divided on Earth thousands of years ago. And you can see in this design where we have these separations of these amoeba-like drawings. So it's a pretty easy tangle. It's a lot of fun, a lot of versatility. So let's jump into the studio now and let's get started drawing the step out. So here we are in the studio, and I want to show you, so this is a step out that we will be drawing in just a moment. This is my finished piece. It's a 2x2, and in Zentangle, we call these little 2x2 squares a bijou, and we write our notes on the back so that we can remember where we've been and any notes for it. So what am I going to be using in this video? I'm going to be using a pencil for the well, I'll be using a pencil. We'll see when we get into it. There's also I have a shading pencil as well, which is a little darker. I use an 01. This is a Statler pigment liner 01. Also, we have the Micron 01, but I'm going to use a Statler on this one. And I have a Micron PN for a little thicker lines and where I want to color in more black. And then for my color, that contrasting color, I'm using a Statler Tri Plus fine liner. So let's get started. Now, I am, you might notice that this is a different size than the 8.5 by 11 template that I have in the pattern, but of course there's 6 blocks here. What I've been doing is using a 4 by 6 index cards. There's certain cards, there's a special card that I've gotten that will take ink and water. So you can use light watercoloring here. Now, this stencil was made specifically for Zentangle Step Outs. And so I start with the PN and I'm going to draw my boxes, and then we'll get started with drawing the step out. I want to hold it down, keep it in line here. All right, so I'm going to draw this line, and then we're going to put the name of this pattern. So the name is Pangea. And this is day 31. So this is the final video pattern in the series. And the tangle was created by Zentangle. So we just write Zentangle Inc. Sometimes, for a lot of patterns, we do have certified Zentangle instructors who create patterns as well. There are thousands of patterns to choose from, which can also be very overwhelming. But anyway, so let's get started with Pangea. And the first step that we're going to do is we're going to create an amoeba-like freeform, this guy right here. We're going to put it in the center, and we're going to just create. That was step 1. Now we're going to come to step 2, and we're going to pick up our black pen, and we will draw again this amoeba shape. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, because remember, this is just wherever it feels like. There you go. So that is step 1. And now step 2, we're going to draw another one of these shapes. And one of the things that's important is to get it kind of close to this, the line, because there isn't a lot of separation. There is just a small separation. So now we want to go and create this in here, and I'll show you the next step. So we've got our main one that we drew. Then we came and we did a line over here and drew another shape. And now we're going to come and fill in. We'll take this guy here, And let's come over here and draw this part for step 4. Now, I did mention that this was a pretty easy pattern to learn. And what differentiates it will be the way we fill in the shapes. As you can see, I've done a number of different ways in which we can draw and make it interesting. But we are going to do our 1, 2, then we're going to put here. And okay, that's going to be, I guess I didn't, the new part was that we had this line, but then we were taking this here and we created another shape for that line. And then we came over and I'm gonna make another shape here. And now we filled in our space. So that pretty much is the basics for Pangea. Let's draw it one more time, and then we're going to add some, we'll add some of these different ways to fill it in. Now, I'm not going to fill it all in this section because part 2 is coming up where I'm going to draw that on my mandala, and that this will be the last space that we are filling for the mandala, and it's looking pretty good. So stay tuned for part 2. It's coming up in just a moment, but here we have some ideas, and we filled our space with some shapes. We could put another shape in here. And then I'm just going to do this main one here. I'm going to give it a little striped affair. And then here I'm going to put some lines. I'm going to double this, or what we call an aura, on both sides. I'm going to give this a little bit here. And down the middle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a highlight in the center. It's one of the techniques that we use in striping. And so I like to draw it in first, because a lot of times when you go to put the highlights in, you end up coloring it in by mistake. And so I draw it in ahead of time. We turn our paper so that we keep our hand in its most comfortable way for us to draw, so that we get the best lines that we can get. It makes it difficult when you're doing when you're trying to maneuver and you're twisting and turning your arm. It doesn't give you the best lines that you can have. And why not have pretty lines. Now, if you wanted to, I mean, there you can get even a little fancier with, you can put a little bit of other type of design. But just so you know, there's a number of ways that you can fill these spaces in with that makes a really interesting drawing. So now what I want to do, now that we've done the step out, I want us to take a look at, this is the, come on. Well, it doesn't seem to want to stay where I want it. Okay, so that is, this is the mandala, and we are now heading towards the second part 2 of our video, where we draw the mandala, and on the mandala, the pattern Pangea. Now, another thing that's included in the beginner's guide, if you don't have it yet, the link is in the description. This is the mandala with 31 spaces, and we will now go back to my studio, and I will draw in Pangea. So in the beginning of the video, you saw a clip of me putting in what I would call our string. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the pen to go ahead and outline this string of little amoeba shapes. And I'll put one right here. Okay. So, taking a look at what we've done here before, I think I'm going to come ahead again, and in this center, I'm going to do a striping. It's going to pull attention to this one. Okay, now I'm going to draw in that highlight. And I'm going to come and get my PN, my micron PN that's a little bit thicker line to help me fill in the black here. There we go. And then I'm going to come and do the same thing. Skipping one because we're striping. Now I could have drawn that in first, but I didn't. But I will show you again. I just make a squiggly line here and a squiggly line there. And then I come in with my PN or other pen that has a little thicker nib than an 01. Like on these small ones, you know, you can do it with an 01, no problem. But I think what I want to do is I like the idea of giving it a little more design. I'm a detail-oriented type of person. Some people want it more simplistic. You do it the way you want it because it's your art. So now I want to come over here. I think I'll make some shapes, some little tiny shapes. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to take my gold pencil. Or did I use a gold pen? Looks like I used a gold pen. If I have my new gold pen here. Here. Well, here's the old one. Hopefully there's some ink in there. Maybe I'll just do these gold. See, it's a very fluid design style. We go, we finish one and then we look at the other and see. I'd like to be able to get a little bit of black ink here. Outline these. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to let's see. On this one, I'm going to give it an aura. And then I'm going to give it some petals. Like a petal shape. Now I'm going to take a look at my whole design off camera and decide how I want to do the finishing of this. But as you can see, we are now closing in. Now I'm just going to give it a little hatch there. Same thing over here. And then I'm going to this is all impromptu and in the moment. So basically that's about the all I'm going to to do right now. And then I'm going to take a look at the whole design, and I'll come back in the next video with just a synopsis of the whole project and show you the finished version. That concludes Pangea. It also concludes the Inktober Tangles 2022. It is now complete. So if you have just started to listen to this video, or you've listened to a couple, but you didn't download the beginner's guide, I had a couple of questions. Number one, the beginner's guide is going to be there. You can download it, and when you download it, you will get an email with all the links to all 31 days, plus you'll get your beginner's guide, and you will be on a list that I will let you know when the next series starts. So the link's in the description, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I thank you so much, all of you, all of the subscribers. If you can see on this page, I started with 11 subscribers on the first day or two, and now we have over 107 subscribers. Thank you so much. And we have added, a lot of you have downloaded the beginner's guide. Let me know in the comments especially you beginners, what do you want to learn? What are your questions about the Zentangle method? And I will make sure to include that in